All right. I think we're back on Facebook. I made a mistake this morning, so we're going to see. Yeah, there we go. Now we're back. So I'm sorry I had to redo I had to restart the stream. I was wondering why the bandwidth was so low, and apparently, let's go over here. Oh, look, we can do this. There we go. So yeah, I had to restart the stream. Now we're doing. Yeah, now we're live. This is V2. This is V2. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let me do a little bit of maintenance. I'll be right back with you. Let me just try this out. Social media is always fun. Let me see. I posted the wrong link to the wrong. Oh, it says live. There we go. Let's try this again. Share. I'm sorry we have to share this again to the groups. The groups, I'm sorry if I gave you the wrong link before. This is the proper link. Let's try this one. I will be right there. Sorry. Sorry for the mistake. That was completely on me. And we'll be right there. I was wondering why the bandwidth was off. That's why I knew that something was wrong before. So I think we should be where we should be now. So you just have to deal with a little bit of, let me just check here real quick. I will be right back. Give me 3 minutes to get things straightened out. Here we go. Looky what we have here, my 69 Strat. Okay, I think we were back here live like we're supposed to be. I just have to monitor a couple of, yeah, there we are. There we are. Yeah, it maybe was my fault. I didn't have Facebook where it was supposed to be in the streaming architecture when I started streaming live. And when I was going back and checking the different places it was supposed to be, it was doing like a 10-second version. So I'm not sure, but we're back. Now we're back live and we can do this. Look what we can do. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to get sick of that, but I figured since I know where it's coming from, you were live on Facebook. I'm not sure what the problem is. When I was checking the Facebook groups, it wasn't showing the right Facebook feed. It was showing some kind of a short clip. But anyway, I figured we just started over again. What the heck? Put it back into Facebook groups. Thank you, Facebook groups, for putting it up again. So anyway, we're back here live now. Now it's looking better. The bandwidth is really strange, though. I'm not sure what's going on with the bandwidth. Let me see here. Yeah. The bandwidth. Well, I don't know. I'm going to put it over there on YouTube, on X. I'm going to put the YouTube link over there on X, just for the heck of it. Let me do this real quick. Copy. Paste. Yeah, just real quick. It'll be right with you. 3 ways Vision Pro could work with Final Cut Pro. There's 3 different ways that I can figure out. Could there be more, or could there be maybe one of these are not right? Maybe you'll be able to tell me. Let's just put that up there in case the YouTube link is not working, and we'll post that. Bam, here we go. All right, now I think we're okay. Yeah, so we got I did a little treat with my 69 Strat that I have. It's modified. That I figured I'd every once in a while come on with that. I don't know of any other Final Cut Pro people that are. I think Mark Spencer plays guitar. There's a couple of people that play different instruments. Eric, actually, from Eric Lenz from Germany, played. What did he was a songwriter, because he said he played in Logic. He used to use Logic, which is where I started out. I started out in audio. I had a recording studio for years, all through the 80s into the 90s. It was reel to reel. And then I transitioned over slowly to digital. But that was the late 90s when I did that. But I didn't do any video editing on the Mac in those days. I just did it on, I just started in late 90s on Premiere. But anyway, so you've seen, I'm sure, lots of videos with the Vision Pro, and people have been talking about it. And I must admit that the more I see it, the more I like it. I must admit that, because when I originally saw it, see, now the bandwidth's going up. I'm not sure why. But when I originally saw it, I didn't think I was going to like it. But now that I'm seeing it, and some of these pundits are showing you through you can record what they're seeing through the goggles headset. Tim Cook doesn't like it called goggles. He likes to call it headset. So let me just put that back. What is that going to? Close it there. There we go. I'm just making sure we're live where we're supposed to be. But anyway, when I first saw the Vision Pro, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I was, it looks a little clunky to me. It still does, but the more people that show it, they show it physically, they show the beautiful boxing and all that. I mean, when I got my 2019 Mac Pro, I followed the delivery live. I was down in the studio and we followed it live. That thing came, thank you very much for the thumbs up. That thing came, I think it weighed 70 pounds, the box. 2 boxes, 2 giant boxes that came in, packed. It was like 70 pounds. So I know what sometimes the first demo of a product, Apple will go overboard with their packaging. But I've seen some of the packaging for the Vision Pro. It looks pretty darn good. People are amazed at how good it is. Now, I'm not that surprised, to be honest with you. Let me just pull these up. So one of the things when I see this Vision Pro is some people are using apps and they use Final Cut Pro. So I was thinking about it, and there's 3 different ways that I know of that we can use Final Cut Pro with the Vision Pro headset. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. 3 different ways. So let's go over there. These are the ways that I'm thinking. So we're at Final Cut TV. Let me pull my cam link on. Cam link, here we go. And we want to put it above. There we go. So this is Final Cut TV and Coffee, of course. 1 year we've been doing this. This is a 52nd episode, so we've been doing it for 1 year. But anyway, so the first way that I know of we can use it as a Mac display. Okay? So that's the first way, is like, you just, all it is an extension of your MacBook, or if you have a Mac Mini, or if you have a Mac Pro, it just is an extension of your display, which that seems to be the way that it's working now, right? Sri Lanka. Wow. Hi from Sri Lanka. What fantastic. I may get a Vision Pro, but not until summer at the earliest. Is that when your budget allows you to get one in the summer? Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. Now, that's the first way. Vision Pro is an extension of the Mac desktop. That's the way it is. It's just whatever you see on your Mac desktop is, instead of going to the screen, as a matter of fact, the MacBook goes black. Screen goes black, and everything goes to the Vision Pro. So everything's up in this 3D space, and you can still see through it, though. So that's the first way. Now, the other ways, as far as, this is my thinking. The other way is native Vision Pro app. A native Vision Pro app. Now, what that would be an actual app that was designed for the Vision Pro and would run on the Vision Pro. Now, we're not there now. Now, the thing about that is, how would you connect to the media? Would the media somehow, can you still be connected to your media on your MacBook that you can work with? Because you're not going to load 100 gigabytes, 200 gigabytes, or a terabyte of data into the Vision Pro. So if there is going to be a native Final Cut Pro for the Vision Pro, thank you very much for the thumbs up, it would still have to connect to media on your Macintosh, on the Mac Pro or whatever. In my case, I have a 56 terabyte RAID 5 that I work off of. It's an 8-drive RAID 5, so I get about 1,000 megabits per second, so I get pretty good speed. But how would the Vision Pro access media? If, I'm not saying there's going to be a native Vision Pro Final Cut version of Final Cut Pro. If there was a native version of the Vision Pro, of Final Cut Pro for the Vision Pro, would it just be that the Final Cut Pro app would work on the Vision Pro? Because the Vision Pro has an M2 chip, right? So the Vision Pro is an actual computer in the headset. But if they had a native Final Cut version or Final Cut Pro for the Vision Pro, how would it access media? Wirelessly is not going to work. You have to be a cable or hooked to the Mac. Maybe it's still going to use the media from the MacBook Pro. So that's number 2. That is number 2. Now, what would be the third thing the third option is this. This is, once again, this is my thinking. So we have a Mac, it's just an extension of the Mac display. That's one way. That's the way it works now. The Vision Pro is an extension of your Mac. Your Mac is doing all the work, using all its horsepower. Whatever it's connected to, it can access all the media. The second is, if it ever happens, is a native Vision Pro app. Now, once again, if there is Final Cut Pro for Vision Pro, how does it access your media? I'm not saying there's going to be. I'm just saying if there is. Here's the third option that I can think of. Apple has announced the ability for Final Cut Pro to edit spatial video for the Vision Pro in 2024. Okay? This is one of those rare instances where Apple has pre-announced a feature of a new version of Final Cut Pro. They've pre-announced it. They pre-announced it last fall. They said that Final Cut Pro in 2024 will be able to edit spatial video for the Vision Pro. They pre-announced. They told us it's coming in a future version. I'm not sure exactly what that means, other than the fact that I can shoot spatial video on my iPhone 15 Pro Max already, but I can't specifically edit spatial video on Final Cut Pro yet. So I'm thinking that could be the third way that we'll see Final Cut Pro on the Vision Pro. Oh, look, I got the things again. What else can I do? I know the peace sign is one, but I don't want to do that. Here we go. Eric says, not budget related. Need to see more from it, apps and such. So I think this is going to be a sleeper hit for Apple. I think they're going to this is going to be very, very much a hit. I wasn't sure at the beginning. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. Oh, what does this do? What does this do? There you go. That's what that does. I think this is going to be a hit for Apple. I think people have underestimated the fact that this is going to be very popular. Number one is the quality is superb. Everybody I see review it, from the packaging all the way down, the strap and this and that, superb quality, which is what you expect from Apple. Apple is a premium company. They don't compete at the low end of the market. They are a premium company and offer a premium product. So everybody that sees the Vision Pro that's reviewed it that I've seen says the quality is just absolutely superb. By the way, I want to talk about some of the videos that I've seen. One of the videos that I really enjoyed was Casey Neistat. He's real popular on YouTube, of course. He went to L.A., hated L.A., came back to New York. But he did one with the Vision Pro where he went out in the subway and all over the place, and it was really good. But I watched his latest video. So that guy, the guy's incredible. That guy at age 26, had a motorcycle accident. And he broke his femur in his leg, and they replaced it with a stainless steel rod of some sort. The doctor told him he would never run again. You have to watch this latest video of his. Doctor said you'd never run again. He said, oh, I'll show you. Not only am I going to run, I'm going to do a marathon and break the 3-hour barrier. So he said that when he was 26. And he just achieved that at age 42. He's been trying all these years to beat the 3-minute barrier, and he finally did it in 2023 at age 42. Made the promise in 26, came back, tried year after year after year. He was always in the 3 hour and something, but he wanted to break 3 hours, and he did it last year. Congratulations to Casey. Absolutely. So we go back to this again. Tyler says, I foresee a subscription model for a native Final Cut Pro Vision OS app. That would limit its viability. People are not going to go for a subscription for the full version of Final Cut. I understand why they did it for the iPad, whatever. As an option, yes. Don't make us, well, at least for the Mac version. At least for the Mac version. Don't make us go subscription. Not subscription only. Richard, do you know anyone whose opinion you trust who have tried to edit with it? I'm considering one, if I can trust it for color editing as well. I don't think anybody said that the color is, thank you very much for the thumbs up, the color is sufficiently accurate for color, for, a professional colorist. I haven't seen anybody say that. It very well could be, but that would be interesting. It would be okay if you could use the interface of Final Cut Pro with the app on a Mac. Well, you can access the interface of Final Cut Pro now using an extended your desktop. Now, the one thing I was curious, well, not curious, I was surprised when you take your MacBook Pro, I'm going to say, and put it on the Vision Pro as an extended display, your MacBook Pro goes black. So you can't have both of them up at the same time. It goes black. So the only thing you have is the Vision Pro version of whatever app you would do. But I've seen people edit on it. With Final Cut Pro, you have the option of, you can freeze whatever you see in the Vision Pro to stand still, and you can actually walk towards the projection, and the projection stays like on a wall in front of you. You can get up to it. It's real big. All kinds of things. I think it's going to be a hit. I think it's going to be a hit if it's not already. Good morning and good coffee from Toronto, Canada. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. It'd also be nice with features added to the desktop version that are turned on by default. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. When you connect a Vision Pro to your Mac. Yeah, I agree with that. Good morning from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. Good morning. Everybody's finally joining in. See, what happened was this morning, the reason I'm a little late with this version is I started this stream and I forgot to put Facebook in, so I went back and put Facebook in, and then it didn't seem like the right Facebook feed was coming into the group, so I stopped the stream and started over again. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. Yes, edit, but the use of the keyboard of the app, you can't touch the interface. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen sometimes you can use the keyboard and sometimes you have to use their one finger at a time keyboard on the Vision Pro. Here we go. I've been testing Vision Pro all week. It's an amazing tool, but the window workflow needs to be improved. Absolutely. Thank you for the thumbs up. Here, let me give you a thumbs up for your thumbs up. Look at that. Yes, thumbs up for the thumbs up. All right. Good morning from Brazil. Once again, we have a worldwide audience here tuned in. Workflow in terms of dragging media from the Vision Pro apps to your desktop or laptop. That's the connection, because it's a wireless connection, right? I presume you have to be on the same Wi-Fi network, or is it not Bluetooth? That would be too slow, I would think. I presume maybe not. Maybe it's not. No, it wouldn't be the Wi-Fi. How does the Vision Pro connect to your Mac? What protocol does it use? Is it Bluetooth? Can somebody tell me that uses it? Because I've seen people use it on the airplane. It's definitely not Wi-Fi, because Casey Neistat was out on the subway in New York. So it creates some kind of a network between your Mac and the Vision Pro, whatever that is. But I would think, is Bluetooth too slow for that? Bluetooth? I think it would be. I would think it would be. So that whatever the network is, some kind of proprietary network. I don't know. I don't know what the protocol is. So I'm going to play, let me just check on something here real quick. There is the backyard. Nobody at the bird feeder right now. There were a little while ago, but nobody yet. So I got, at the beginning of the live stream, I recorded a little bit of my guitar playing with my 69 Strat. I'm going to play a little bit of that again because I really enjoy that. 1 minute of guitar playing. It uses Wi-Fi. You can airdrop media, but it's not faster than switching tabs on the main interface. But how does the Vision Pro connect to your MacBook Pro? If it's Wi-Fi, it must be broadcasting its own Wi-Fi, because how can people use it on the subway and stuff and on airplanes if they don't have Wi-Fi? You mean it broadcasts its own Wi-Fi to the MacBook Pro? Is that how it connects? Because it is wireless, right? If it uses Wi-Fi, it must be broadcasting its own. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Its own Wi-Fi. They have to be on the same network, but how did Casey Neistat use it on the subway? New York subway. And I've seen people use it on airplanes. I don't think they were connected to Wi-Fi. That seems strange if that's the case. I would think the Vision Pro broadcasts its own Wi-Fi. You can hotspot your cell phone. Huh. So, okay, so it's using either the cell phone or the Wi-Fi. I see. Okay. To me, that seems bizarre. To me, I would think that the iPhone, the headphones, the headset would broadcast its own Wi-Fi network that the Mac Pro could log into, because it would be faster and something else. That's interesting. You have to be on Wi-Fi. So everything is going through Wi-Fi. So if you had a slow cell connection, it would really be slow. That seems bizarre to me, but that's what I asked the question for, to see if that's how it connects. Not sure how it would work on a plane when your phone doesn't have cell data and the plane has no Wi-Fi. That's what I'm saying. People have used it on an airplane. I don't think they were connected to Wi-Fi. Casey Neistat used it in the subway, New York subway. And somebody else has used it on the New York subway as well. Does the New York subway have cell connection down there? You can connect to your phone? Maybe it does. I don't know. So one of the things that I've seen, one of the criticisms that I've seen, thank you very much for the thumbs up, is that the eyes, the pass-through eyes don't look as good as the Apple commercial. They look cloudier. Let me pull this up real quick. We'll pull this up. We'll pull his his version up here. So this is Casey's version. It's ridiculous. But here he is on the subway. Now, is it tracking failed? So how does this work on the subway? How does it work on a subway? I don't know. Does he have his Wi-Fi connected to it? Nobody's stressed that. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think Bluetooth would be fast enough for foreplay. I agree with that. Personal hotspot through iPhone, never use public Wi-Fi. I agree with that. There's decent cell data in most parts of the New York City. Okay, well, that explains the subway. What about the phones? Well, people who have it know that it needs that. I'm just questioning if that's the optimal way. Okay. Everybody's saying it's either the Wi-Fi or the hotspot. Okay. That explains it. It just seems like, look, audio device, an app that would count the number of finger snaps for somebody trying to set a record. Is there a mic that would register the snapping sounds and would be a meter on the screen? That's a different subject than what we're talking about. But so this amp I have back here, it broadcasts two separate Bluetooth connections, not just one. Oh, I got to watch my handset. Not just one, it has two. So it broadcasts its own. And I would have thought that the headset would have had its own Wi-Fi. I would have thought it would have had its own Wi-Fi, and it just broadcast to the MacBook. But apparently that's not the case. You can use your own computer as a Wi-Fi router, so it is most likely the computer that is set up as Wi-Fi router to the Vision Pro. I know, I'm just talking about the Wi-Fi connection, the actual Wi-Fi connection. That's what I was talking about. So I use my computer's Wi-Fi router when studying Germany, thus getting my iPad on the same network. Yes. No, I understand that. It's just, if you connect to a Wi-Fi device like a camera, you are cut off the internet. I don't know. I'm using a Wi-Fi connection right now to the internet, and I'm using a camera. So I'm not sure what that comment means. Like a camera. I'm not connected to the camera directly, but my MacBook Pro has a camera. I'm connected there. I see. No, that could be. That could be something. So who is interested? Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Oh, it says on the Vision Pro. On the Vision Pro, I see. I see. Very, very interesting. Who's going to get a Vision Pro and edit them with Final Cut Pro? Anybody? I probably am not. I probably at some point, I very likely at some point will get a Vision Pro, but I think I'll wait till V2 or V3. Just like I was going to get the M2 chip MacBook Pro. It's too damn expensive. The M3 came out. When I spec'd a MacBook Pro for me, it was over $5,000. No, too much. They didn't give me enough. Well, I have to keep this MacBook Pro because it connects to my RAIDs. And the new MacBook Pro, I don't think so. At least not my two older RAIDs. I have two legacy RAID 5s that I can connect in Ventura. I cannot connect so far in Sonoma when I boot into Sonoma. So I have to keep this MacBook Pro. I will not give it away. I'll keep it. But at this point, I'm just going to wait for the M4 MacBook Pro. Here's the thing I might get, and I'm looking at this seriously. I might get the new iPad Pro when it comes out. Probably at an Apple March event right before NAB, right before NAB, Apple is probably going to have another Apple event, a March event, and they're going to introduce the new iPad Pros, whatever the heck they are. I'm more apt to spend a couple $1,000s on a high-end iMac Pro, say $2,000, versus $5,000 on a new MacBook Pro at this point. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Look at that. You guys get a thumbs up for giving me the thumbs up. So that's kind of in my budget for 2024. Maybe a new iPad Pro. And then I'll get a Mac Mini. Nah, probably not. This MacBook Pro is doing great. I really don't need a Mac Mini. Good morning from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, our friend Don Stafford. Thank you very much. So during the intro today for today's stream, I recorded a video of me playing a little bit of guitar, and I'm just going to play that. I'll play just 30 seconds of that one more time for people who didn't see it. Looky what we have here, my 69 Strat. So I played that this morning. I recorded it to play live on the stream. Every once in a while I'll do that. I'm headed out to do a camera test with the Vision Pro. It connects to my Red digital camera via the Red Control app. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. When did you... I didn't realize that a camera connects directly, Red digital camera, headed out to do a camera test with the Vision Pro, connects to my Red digital camera via the Red Control app. I didn't know any cameras connected directly to the Vision Pro. That's very, very cool. Had no idea. Richard Axeman Taylor, there you go. I've been playing guitar since I've been a little kid. I was fascinated when I was a youngster in my single digits. My brother's 5 years older than me. So in the 60s, he wanted to be in a band, and he bought an electric guitar and a Fender amplifier. I was fascinated with electric guitars. I've always been fascinated. I love electric guitars. So I've been playing since I've been a little kid. I don't play out live anymore, though I might at some point. I'm recording some new material, and I'm going to be putting out some music in 2024. I am considering buying one, and as a Dane, I will know if it's worth it for me, as I have several months where I can hear and learn about others' experience before I'd be able to buy one myself. There you go. So, yeah, a lot of people said, thank you very much for the thumbs up. We already got 11 thumbs ups already. Thank you very much. 12. Thank you very much. Here we go. Thumbs up for the thumbs up. Thumbs up for your thumbs up. Some of the things. What else can I do in Sonoma? I got that. I got this, which gets the balloons. Where are they? Nope, I didn't do it right. Peace sign. There we go. Balloons. Thumbs up gets the thumbs up. What else do we have? I don't even know. So the Vision Pro, like I said, every video that I've seen of it, I like it more and more. Now, I'm not planning on getting one. If I came into a large sum of money, perhaps. But my normal budget for 2024, no, I'm not getting one. As somebody said, was it Casey? I think Casey Neistat said, this is the worst version of the Vision Pro that Apple will ever ship. Well, by that he means this is the version 1. Every other version should improve as we get version 2, 3, 4, etc. I don't think they're going to update the hardware, the shape, the size that quickly, because it was so much work to get this to come, to be a viable product. They could certainly, excuse me, they could certainly update the M2 chip to an M3 chip or whatever, add more memory and stuff. But I think I think we're going to be stuck with the physical shape of it for a year or 2 years, maybe longer. But obviously, when they do have the V2 or V3, whatever they're going to have, it'll be lighter, and who knows what else it's going to be. But I think I'll wait till a V2 or V3. And, I've heard people say this is just like Minority Report. No, it's not. It's not like Minority Report. Tom Cruise did not wear any headset. Okay? It's not like Minority Report. There was no headset involved. There was just, everything was out in spatial in front of him and he could access it, but there was no headset involved. Visually, it looks like it, but was no headset involved. So I'm not sure how they did that. Just some kind of a holographic projection from the ground up that you could interact with. I don't know how they explained that, but that's what I presume is happening. Thank you very much for the thumbs up again. Here's something else that I'm curious about. We've talked about the Vision Pro. When are we going to see Final Cut Pro 10.7.2? What's your guess? Are we going to see 10.7.2 February? Or are we going to wait until the Apple event in March? I'm sure there's going to be an Apple event with the new MacBook Pro, whatever else. And maybe they'll introduce Final Cut Pro 10.7.2 then. I'm fairly convinced that we will see 10.7.2. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Before NAB, which is 60 days. 2 months, NAB is going to be here. I think we'll see 10.7.2 before NAB, and I think there'll be some features in it. It won't just be a bug fix. I can't see that unless they have an imperative bug fix that they have to take care of right now. Also, the Vision Pro cannot tell if someone is going to commit a crime in the future yet. That's correct. It can't do that. So I'll just put this out there. You're walking around with a $3,500, probably closer to $4,000 headset on your head on the New York City subway, anywhere in public. What's to prevent somebody from just grabbing it off your head and running? Be careful. Be careful. I'm sure Casey had some people with him. But be careful of that. You can't just go walking around in places that might not be optimal for walking, let's say. Let's go back to NAB. I have feelers out to see if we might be seeing a presentation at the NAB. Haven't got any confirmation yet. I don't have a high confidence that we will, but since 10.7 just came out, since the Vision Pro just came out, would Apple have a booth at NAB for the Vision Pro? It seems viable that they would. It seems likely that they could, because NAB is not WWDC. NAB is a much wider audience. It's not just Apple. WWDC is a worldwide developers conference for Apple products. NAB is for all kinds of products. They have cameras, they have audio, they have NLEs. Of course, Abbott's going to be there, Adobe's going to be there. Blackmagic, of course, Blackmagic has the biggest booth of anybody at NAB. So, but since this Vision Pro is new, Apple could have a booth letting people demo it live and in person. And then maybe, just maybe, a new version of Final Cut Pro. Now, here's the thing. They could put 10.7.2 out in February and still have a new version that comes out for NAB. If you remember in 2022, 2 years ago, Apple allowed a beta version of Final Cut Pro to be demoed on YouTube in March. It didn't come out until April, but Apple allowed a demo version of Final Cut Pro, 10.6.2, I think it was, might have been 6.2 or 6.3, to be demoed on YouTube before it came out to the public. It came out to the public in April, right before NAB, but Apple allowed demos of it on YouTube in March. My confidence that we'll see a feature update to Final Cut Pro before or right around NAB is very high. I'm not clear if we're going to see 10.7.2 or whatever the feature version number is going to be in February, although we could see something in February and an additional update in time for NAB. But I have more of a suspicion that a feature update to Final Cut Pro will come out before or right around NAB, March or before. Once again, Apple's going to probably have an Apple event in March. They're going to introduce the new iPad Pro, which I'm going to be interested in. Since I'm not getting a new MacBook Pro, I might get the iPad Pro. Listen, the one I have is 4 years old, 5 years old. I have an iPad Air 2. That's how old my iPad is. I just don't use it that much. If I got the iPad Pro, the big one, whatever the big one is, it's got to have the same ability to, here's the criteria. You have to be able to edit off an SSD or I'm not interested. So I can use LumaFusion and I can access media on a connected USB-C SSD. And even more importantly, this is not just for transferring files. I can edit directly from the SSD. I do not have to pull the files from the SSD onto my phone. So any iPad I get has to have that ability. It has to have the ability to edit from the SSD without pulling the files onto the iPad Pro. Because I'm only planning, if I get one like that, I'm only planning on getting a 512 or probably a 512, maybe a 1 terabyte. Because if I can connect a 4 terabyte SSD in via USB-C, that's where all my media is going to live. Adding the Dolby Atmos editing option from Logic to Final Cut Pro and use Vision Pro to add where the sound should be placed in 3D plane would be interesting. Yes, it would be. Absolutely would be interesting. So when Apple says, because Apple's already announced Final Cut Pro in 2024 is going to get the ability to edit the Vision Pro video. Spatial video for the Vision Pro. Apple has already pre-announced that. People say that Apple doesn't give us a roadmap. Well, here's a roadmap. Doubters that say Apple doesn't give us roadmaps, here's the roadmap. Small. Apple has said Final Cut Pro is going to edit spatial video for the Vision Pro in 2024. So that's one of the things that's going to happen. Although since I don't have a Vision Pro and I'm not anticipating, that's not a big feature for me personally, but I'm glad that they're adding that ability for people that want it. I think the Vision Pro is going to be a hit. I just think it is the current state, because the thing is, if you want to be on the cutting edge. Like when the first iPhone came out, I didn't get that. I didn't get the second. Maybe I got the third or fourth version. So I didn't jump on, even though, did I want to? Yes. Yes, I did. But it's like the Vision Pro. If I had unlimited funds, I would buy one just to be on the, be current, be on the cutting edge. But I have a budget that I'm trying to stay within. And my budget says a new iPad Pro. And I'm not going to get the Mac Mini. If I get an iPad Pro, that's going to be my Mac budget for the year. At this point, I'm going to wait till a V4 version of a MacBook Pro. I'm going to keep using I have a 2021 M1 Max with everything top of the line except the SSD. The SSD is only 2 terabyte, which is, I'm sorry, 4 terabyte. It's not 8, but it's 4. I am skeptical about spatial editing as a feature. Remember the 3D craze? Remember the 3DS? Yeah, no, I agree with those. No, I absolutely agree with you on those. They didn't affect me. I didn't get a 3D, one of those cameras that go 360 cameras and stuff. I didn't get one of those. That's not impressive. But they have announced that Final Cut's going to have that feature. So whether or not you use it, that's a different story. I never use 360 video. I never use it, even though it's there in Final Cut. So what else do we have? So one of the things let me pull that off. So I'll be going to NAB, as I normally do, and I'm going to specifically be looking for anything Final Cut Pro related. That's my main focus. There are some other things I'm interested in. I'm certainly interested in audio. I'm interested in Panasonic, Sony cameras, not the giant ones that are $60,000, but just the ones, the mirrorless ones. I got the Panasonic S5 Mark II X, and I really, really, really like it. I got 4 lenses for it, full frame. It does a great job in low light. The autofocus is doing pretty well. Not bringing that to NAB. Don't need it. There's no low light situations at NAB that I have to worry about. I'll bring my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I'll bring a backup iPhone as a backup camera. And that's all I'm bringing. I'm not bringing the Sony. Absolutely, I don't need it. So is anybody else interested in spatial video editing on Final Cut? I guess it's nice to have it as an option. Scott says, I'd like to go to NAB and pretend that I'm in the market for a traffic helicopter. I mean, do you get a free ride on a helicopter if you do that? Maybe I'll go to the Sphere and see what's going on there, if a concert or something's happening in there. The last two NABs, maybe the last 3, they were building that thing, and I had no idea what it was. But we'll see. But anyway, I'll be going to NAB. I'll be reporting live from NAB the way I always do. And I'll be looking for anything Final Cut Pro related. Now, there's no Final Cut Pro events that I know of. In the past, we've had the Guru Gathering. Steve Martin put on the Guru Gathering, which was a dinner for Final Cut Pro gurus. You could buy a ticket, get a dinner, meet with people, have a chat, talk. He hasn't done that. He didn't do that in 2019, and he didn't do that in 2023. There was no NAB in 2021, obviously. 2020, 2021, 2022. Was there one? Yeah, there was one. I'm sorry, there was one in 2022. He hasn't done one. He's not, from what I understand, he's not interested in doing that anymore. We used to have, so that was the FCPX Guru Gathering. That's not around. However, there is going to be a Super Meet this year. At the Super Meet in 2023, let me see, when was it? 2022. The Super Meet in 2022, they had a Super Meet, and there was a lot of Final Cut Pro people that were there. Serena Catania was there. Steve Martin was there. Final Cut Bro was there. Final Cut Dylan Johns was there. He was there. Sam Messman was there. There was a lot of Final Cut people at the Super Meet. So he is having another Super Meet this year. He didn't have it in 2023. According to his website, he had a health issue with his back, so he didn't have it. So Monday night, there'll be a Super Meet, and there'll probably be some Final Cut Pro people that will assemble there. Now, let me just go over here. If you're interested in Final Cut Pro and the Super Meet, we have a Facebook group. Yeah, I think we're on live. We have a Facebook group over there. Final Cut Pro at NAB, specifically Final Cut Pro at NAB. So anything Final Cut Pro related, NAB related, this is a meetup place we can have. You can join it right now. 50, 60 people at this point. So we're on there live right now, of course. And we post events. If anybody wants to have a coffee, Final Cut Pro coffee or whatever, this is the place where we post everything, Final Cut Pro at NAB. The website is just groups, Final Cut, FCP, NAB. So you can join that if you're interested in anything Final Cut Pro related. I still have I have some feelers out in the Final Cut Pro community to see if there's anything going to be happening officially from Final Cut Pro at NAB. Nobody's responded yet, but we'll see if anybody does. I like panorama video photos. I do too. I don't want to underestimate the importance of spatial video. I captured very few panorama images over the year, but they look absolutely stunning on the Vision Pro. Fantastic. There we go with another thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. No, I agree. This is different than 360 video and 3D video. This is different because we can see it with the Vision Pro. It's completely different. I'm glad they give the ability to record because you can actually feel what it's like to be inside. You can visually see what it's like, which is very, very cool. Almost every review I've seen, the few downsides are the eyes don't look as good as Apple's do. So, but that's a minor issue. If they function the way they're supposed to, they just look good. I have to say that I'm interested at this point. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Thumbs up for you. You get a thumbs up. So what else do we have going on? Anything else in the Final Cut Pro world? I saw one video that said I didn't see the video. I saw somewhere that somebody asked if Final Cut Studio is coming back, and I don't have to watch that video. The answer is no. Final Cut Studio is not coming back. We don't have to watch a video to see that. If they came back, if Final Cut Pro 11 comes back and did DaVinci Resolve, absolutely, DaVinci is the best version of that multi-app interface where they have a tab for this, tab for editing, tab for color, tab for audio, tab for fusion. That is absolutely, stunningly the best way to do a multi-app all in one application. But the way Final Cut Pro 10 is, there's not going to be a Final Cut Studio in Final Cut Pro 10. That's not going to happen. They might have, well, I think they have people working on Final Cut Pro 11 already. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. And I think that that's going to be a whole brand new app built from the ground up, blah, 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 all over again when they get to 11, whenever that is. They could jump from 10.7 to 11. They could jump from 10.8 to 11. Who in the heck knows? Who in the heck knows? One of the things when we talked to the Final Cut Pro team at the Creative Summit. By the way, the Final Cut Pro team watches these live videos, so we definitely want to give applause to the Final Cut Pro team. Wait a minute, let's try that again. I had that turned down. We definitely want to give applause to the Final Cut Pro team. Thank you for giving us Final Cut Pro 10.7. Thank you for giving us a scrolling timeline. iEdit Project says the Persona is touch and go. It'd be nice for Apple to have a solution for doing professional scans like in store. Yes, absolutely. Well, I think there's going to be, obviously, this is not only it's a version 1 hardware, but the Vision OS is version 1, 1.0.1. Something like that. They updated it to a 0.1 or a 0.2 at this point. So the OS is going to get more sophisticated, just like iOS gets more sophisticated, just like Mac OS gets more sophisticated. More features perhaps will be in there added to Vision OS as it goes along. I think there'll be a big update at WWDC, but I'm thinking maybe Apple will want to be at NAB with a booth. That would be interesting. I'm not necessarily the Final Cut Pro team will be at NAB, although I wish they would. They were there in 2016, 17, 2018, and they were on stage at the Faster Together stage in 2019. So, fingers crossed that Final Cut Pro team might have a public presentation at NAB. So here's what I'm thinking. Realistically, there's going to be an Apple event in March. They're going to have the new iPad Pros, whatever other version of iPads they're going to have. I don't expect any update to the MacBook Pro because that was just updated in the fall. They might have a new version of Final Cut Pro with new features sometime around that Apple event in March. Spring event. They've had it in the past. And if they do that, the more things they do like that, the iPad Pro, the new version of Final Cut Pro with new features, the Vision Pro, maybe there'll be an update to Vision OS in March at the Apple event. There's a chance they'll show up at NAB in a public event. Now, the Final Cut Pro team is at NAB regardless of if there's a Final Cut Pro public event or not. They're always there to talk to developers in person. I've talked to some of the Final Cut Pro team at NAB. When I see them, we always sit down and have a little discussion or talk, whatever. I'm talking about a public event. They've done presentations in 2017 and 2018 where they announced 2 million users, seats of Final Cut Pro in 2017, 2.5 million in 2018. They haven't made any announcements like that since then. But I think we're seeing like a storm coming up, a good storm coming up in March. Apple event, new feature version of Final Cut Pro, maybe an update to Vision Pro, a new iPad Pro, and maybe some kind of an announcement for NAB. I would be very, very pleased if the Final Cut Pro team did a presentation at NAB, but I would say my expectations are about here versus if my shoulder is the mid-level, I'd say my expectations for Final Cut Pro at NAB are about here, but we'll have to see because there is going to be a super meet. There is going to be a super meet, so we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, the super meet will be cool. Monday night, we'll be able to see some Final Cut Pro people. It's always hit or miss who's going to show up at NAB. It is expensive, it costs money to go and everything, so I completely understand that. Is there anything else going on in the world of Final Cut Pro? Let me check over there on Twitter, my Twitter feed, X Twitter. Yeah, there we go. There we are. Oh, good. Let's see if there's anything on Twitter. I join all the different social media platforms. I belong to all of them under Richard Taylor TV. So let's just go here. We are live. Yes, we are. Of course. Let me see. What the heck's going on here? Is this live? See, I'm not sure if this is the one that... Yeah. What about this one? See, something weird happened. Thank you very much for the thumbs up this morning. Anyway, I'm not sure if there's actually a Twitter feed or not. That's why I did the Facebook feed over there. Let me see. We're still on... Yeah, we're still on Facebook and we're still on YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on with Twitter. Let's go over there and check real quick. Let's just check the Twitter feed for Final Cut Pro FCPX. Hi, Richard. Happy Chinese New Year. Thank you very much. Now, if I'm not mistaken, let me check something here. Let me check one thing. Speaking of the Chinese New Year. Let me see. How do I find... Here we go. Chinese New Year's. Chinese... So... It's not a year, it's a sign. Let's see. Yeah, I'm the dragon. I am the dragon. For the Chinese New Year. That's my sign, is the dragon. From birth years. So thank you. It's my year for Final Cut. For the Chinese New Year. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. I'm just looking over there if there's any more information on Twitter right now. I don't see anything. Everything's about the Vision Pro. I did say, I have said this multiple times. Let me just pull this up. Let me see if I can get that up there. I've said this multiple times over the last... What the heck is that showing? Turn that off. So I've been wondering when we're going to see Final Cut Pro 10.7.2. I thought it might have come out with Vision Pro, maybe, but that didn't happen. So at this point, I'm saying pre-NAB, sometime between now and NAB, we're going to see an update. So we're going to see an update. So we'll have to see if we get a feature update in 10.7.2. We'll have to see if we're going to get a feature update. That's what we'll have to see. We're going to get a feature update. All righty. When I go to the Creative Summit, when I go to NAB, I always hone my packing. Now I have my downstairs studio is almost ready to do live streams. I got the green screen set up down there for when I want to use a green screen. I have multiple cameras down there. Multiple cameras I have down there set up. So I have lighting down there. The audio I'll bring with me. I'll probably bring this set up. I'm not sure if I will or not, but I'll probably bring this set up. And at one of these Saturdays, I'll be broadcasting Final Cut TV and Coffee. I'll be broadcasting from down in the studio downstairs. It's been out of commission for a few years. I've done a few live streams from down here, but it's been out of commission for a few years. So I'm working on it. I'm going to get it set up. But when I go to NAB and Creative Summit, I always hone what I take with me. I have a laundry list. It's a long list of things because it's easy to forget something. One of the biggest things this year is my new DJI Mic 2s, which are fantastic. These are fantastic microphones. There's a lot of reasons why I like these over the Rode, although the Rode or this one, both, either one are fantastic. You're going to get the same kind of quality out of either one of these. This has a locking clip now, so it can't, the other one just opened up and things could fall out. But either the Rode or this one, my preference is the DJI because it's much smaller, more compact, it has a lot of nice physical features. But that's one of the things I take. One of the things that I've learned, I used to go to the store and I'd get bottled waters for my coffee and to drink while I was there. I don't do that anymore. Now, I take a Brita filtered pitcher with me. So the Brita filter in the pitcher fits in my suitcase. I just stuff things inside of it, socks or whatever, so I don't take up any wasted space. And now I just use the tap water going through a Brita filter for my coffee and for drinking. Instead of going to the store and I had to get a case of 12 or 24 bottles of water and haul them back to the hotel, I don't do that anymore. That's one of the things that I've honed. The other thing that I've seen, there's a couple of other odds and ends that I do. Sometimes I have a refrigerator. Usually I have a refrigerator, so that's good. I don't have to worry about a hair dryer. They all have hair dryers, so that's fine when I take a shower or whatever and just dry my hair. So that's always good. The other thing I do is I get a double bed rather than one queen size bed. Because what I do is, as soon as I get into the room, the bed furthest from the door is my staging area. My suitcase goes on there, and I spread things out on top of that other bed. It doesn't have to be made because nobody sleeps in it. But on top of it, I put all my stuff. So I can instantly look at it and say, oh, this. Because every once in a while you forget something, but you have a list, checking it twice. Have a list, checking it twice. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Is there anything else going on in the world of Final Cut Pro? We're reading on 10.7.2. I don't know. Let me just go back here and check. I'll go back to Twitter. Twitter. I get most of my information from there for the time being, but Final Cut Pro belong to a couple different groups. searches. I don't really see anything. There are some comedic posts sometimes. People are frustrated with Final Cut Pro and they yell at it and say, oh, I can't do this, and why can't I export my video? Look, Final Cut Pro, there's a lot of reasons if your video doesn't export. Okay, could be a lot of reasons. Usually, it's some kind, usually it's some kind of a, let me see something. Went to my Twitter account, the live stream was on there as well. Can you post from there? I'm going to do that right now because all these comments are from, see, I can't, for some reason, I can't post. Let me see if I can go over there and see if I can post from there. All right, there it is. Now let me see if I can post. It's weird because I'll comment from it. Let me try it. Post. X test. Let's see if it comes up in the stream. I don't see it yet. But that's because I didn't post. See, the problem is it doesn't, when I click on the thing, it doesn't come up. Nothing comes up. Well, let me go to one more. Let me go. Let me go to let me see. Oh, there it is. All right, now let's try this. Yep, came up. Excellent. So comments on Twitter. Here's a comment. I did X test and it just came up, so it does work. Comments do come in from Twitter if you're watching it now. So here's the thing. Now I'm watching it. Now I can see it. So there's that one. Now let's go over to Facebook and do same kind of thing. Let's see if we do Facebook. Oops. Let's do a Facebook test. Did that come up? That did not come up. Not yet. So Twitter is working. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Here it is. Facebook test. Facebook came up. So most of the comments by far are from YouTube Live. Absolutely. But there's our Facebook test and our Twitter test. Comments come through from both, which is fantastic. My top issue with exporting Final Cut Pro projects comes from incorrect ingest. Now I close Final Cut Pro and import to organized folders and first import to events. Problem solved. There's a lot of reasons. A lot of times you'll go to this frame. There's a problem with this frame. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Let me give you a thumbs up. For the thumbs up. It's always appreciated. So this is our 50-second version of Final Cut TV and Coffee. 1 year I've been doing these. And as you know, they usually last an hour and a half to 2 hours. So that's 52 times 100 times 2 hours is 100 hours of stuff we've done over the last year. Not going to stop. We're going to keep on going every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Now, I won't be doing it when I go to NAB in the middle of April because I'll be going to the airport at that time. But I'm going to be broadcasting from the airport, just like I always do. All right, everyone. I think I'm going to finish up here for today. And if nothing happens during the week, if there's an update to Final Cut Pro, of course, we'll come back here live. All my social media, Richard Taylor TV. Just go any social platform, Richard Taylor TV. YouTube, that's where you want to subscribe. Don't forget, subscribe over there at YouTube. Don says, I edit, I do the same thing, create a good folder structure, usually named by scenes, as most of my work is features, and then import. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always, always, always structure everything before you start your project. I always work in anything of importance. I work in folders. I work in the Finder. I rename folders. I rename media. Then, and only then, I create my Final Cut Pro library. And I have one master folder for every project. Inside that master folder, I have different folders for different media. Audio folder, graphics folder, video folder, and inside the video folder, I will rename my files, and I'll save the Final Cut Pro library inside that master folder as well. So everything is inside. Good man. No, I know there's not many people. X doesn't have as many people yet, but I'll go through after the live broadcast. Same with the YouTube, and there'll be 20 to 30 people watching on YouTube Live. There'll be a bunch of people watching on Facebook Live, and not as many on X. But after it plays back and people watch it, there's always 100 or 200 people on X over a period over the week that have viewed it on X a lot of times. Facebook, 400 to 500 over the first week. YouTube, about the same. So all these videos get 1,000 views after they've been up for a while. But anyway, we're up number 52, and we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on doing these Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock Eastern. Tell your friends, tell your Final Cut Pro friends to stop in, and we're going to keep on going. Hopefully we have some good news from NAB. You can join the Final Cut Pro group over there. But I'm going to finish once again, and I will see you. If there's no update to Final Cut Pro, no Final Cut Pro news during the week, I'll see you next Saturday. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You are the best, absolutely the best. And I'll see you next Saturday, if not before.